want to get the
Huh? I meant this.
it's broadcasting. Printed.
Oh no, I mean Spanish.
Yeah.
Sí, Ebony.
Good evening. We're getting ready to prepare to start. So if you would take your seat, and there's also, if you would like to stand along the balcony, there's standing space upstairs along the balcony if you would like also. As we began, we wanted to be intentional about acknowledging the importance of this moment. If you receive one of these who came in and speaks of a moment becoming a movement, well, in this moment, making sure we're all on one accord, we're going to start with a moment of silence. So what we're going to ask for everyone within the sound of my voice to do is to stop moving and to take a moment of silence. Now, I'm going to pray. You don't have to pray. You can bow your head and do what you do. But I'm going to pray. And you're going to, you just have to be still and bow your head. So that means no one should be walking or moving. And that's where we begin. Right now, in this space at this time, we ask that we are on one accord, that we are here to remember the legacy of the public life. That regardless of where we come from or what we bring to this table, we were united by touching or his touch of us. So Father, right now, we come before you, we ask for in this space, unifying understanding of peace and agreement to guide the next hour. Remind us why we're here. Ultimately, purposefully, unto your glory. Amen. The key we can give our name within give us a general overview of what's happening here, and there we go.
How's everybody doing? Right. So it won't take too much time here, but just as Gerald said, we want to give kind of a quick framing for the next hour. One, we're going to purposely try to keep this fairly focused. Mike and I want to sit up here talking about you for like 2 or 3 hours. We're going to try to make this real tight. But if you look around the room, it's an amazing mix of both. There's people I've known on and off for 15 plus years. When Mike open mic scene in Chicago, come do my radio show. We got Mike the artist representative, we got Mike the activist representative, we got Mike the mentor representative, Mike the educator representative. And I think this is amazing to get everybody in the same room to really celebrate this brother and the impact he's had in 38 years. So again, we're trying to do this as a celebration, keep the time appropriate to what Mike wants. And so you're going to have a good number of organizations and people who really work with Mike at different stages of his career and Mike speak to that experience and his impact. And we're going to appropriately transition in to Portland, Chicago to take over a really rapid stay up and get again in the arts. Right? So everything started with the arts, Mike being a poet and everything else. So we're rapid day up with Portland, Chicago, hosting the Leaders of Law. Again, thank you to the family for coming out and sharing Mike with us. And hopefully we'll do it justice every day. So, and now we've got Connie Al, a good long-standing family member and colleague, Mike and D1.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to have you all here. I'm going to share just a few things about Brother Mike. And I knew Brother Mike, the educator. And so that's the piece of Brother Mike I'm going to talk about a little bit today. And I want to confess it's been really, really hard to think about and figure out what to say this afternoon. In part because, as we have all been a part of Brother Mike's revolution, it was a big revolution. And so I'm just going to speak a little bit to the part that I was a part of and that touched me so deeply and share with you. And I want to do that by starting with a story. 10 years ago, right next door, and I also want to thank the Little Black Girl community for hosting this. There's no better space. Or block that in so many ways has such deep resonance for the work of Brother Mike. 10 years ago, I'm the director of education at MacArthur, and so what part of that is fund programs. And so 10 years ago, MacArthur Foundation funded the Digital Youth Network, Akili, Nicole, Brother Mike, to develop an after-school program. For those of you that know philanthropy at all, it's a really big deal when the president of your foundation goes to visit a program that you funded. So 10 years ago, I brought my then president, Jonathan Fanton, who was a former provost of the University of Chicago and president of universities, to Carter G. Woodson, right next door, when he was in the building right next door, to see what Akili, Nicole, and Brother Mike were up to. It was an after-school program, so I had my president. We walked into one of the rooms. I have to tell you, remember, it's Brother Mike. So we walked into one of the after-school rooms. There were about 20 kids in the room. And the first thing we see, Brother Mike had Sir Mix-a-Lot up on the screen. For any of you know Sir Mix-a-Lots, I like butts. I like big butts, yeah. You walk into an after-school classroom with 20 kids. It's one thing to hear the lyrics, it's another thing to have it up on the screen with your president. The kids are going crazy, loving it, talking, yelling, totally engaged. I flipped out. I could barely speak, and I will say, I think Nicole left the room. She was the recipient of the grand hours, Nicole was gone. And I turned to Akili, so this is 10 years ago. So Akili was in his, mid-20s? And I turned to Akili, totally, I'm sure my face was completely red. And Akili gives me, like, I got this. What do you mean you got this? This is my president. This is your funding. You got one of these big butts up on the screen. And so I physically moved Akili to stand next to my president and just said, you explain this. And I too, like Nicole, walked away because I was just horrified. And I have to tell you, Brother Mike had it. He was totally in sync with the kids. Within 10 minutes, they had transitioned from pooping around and being all excited about the big butts on the screen to giving one of the sharpest critiques of what they were seeing on the screen. Many of you all are here. Remember who you are when you were in 6th grade 10 years ago. Giving an extraordinary critique, the relationship, and being able to articulate their relationship to what they saw on the screen, what it meant to their community, what it meant to how they saw themselves, and most importantly, what it meant to what they wanted to do next. They were ready to write poetry, they were ready to make video, they were ready to do photography as a critique in response to what they were seeing up on the screen. Oh my brother Mike, it was an extraordinary half hour in that classroom with those kids. And 10 years later, MacArthur is still funding the Digital Youth Network. And if I can, I want to take 2 more minutes just to say even more clearly why this story is so endearing and so important to me. And I'm going to get academic. I used to be a professor, forgive me. I'm going to get academic for 1 second and say there's a very, very famous education philosopher named Bud Vygotsky. And Vygotsky was famous because he identified this thing called the zone of where learning happens. And he got even more famous because he talked about it in terms of the zone. The bottom of the zone is represented by where the learner or the young person is now. The top of the zone is bounded by where they want to go. And Vygotsky became famous because he focuses on that zone and on the learning that happens in that zone, the learning, the growth, the development, empowerment, whatever you want to call it. But here's what Vygotsky never talked about. What it takes for a young person to move from the bottom up to the top of that zone. And this is part of Brother Mike's revolution that I saw in that room that day. And his genius that was on display, which is what it takes to create opportunities for young people to engage their passions, to take a hold of their passions, and to begin to fulfill their dreams. Brother Mike, from my perspective, was an absolute genius in being able to see, listen, love, care, create those opportunities for young people. And from my perspective, Brother Mike stands amongst the greats as an educator across the world. And he's been recognized, and people have been talking and recognizing his brilliance for quite some time. So I want to close by saying, I saw a bit of Mike's genius. You all saw different parts of Brother Mike's genius. And I want to commit, at least in my part, to doing everything that I can to continue his work and the learning space, which is where I work, and to do whatever I can. And I'm really looking forward to hearing yours. Thanks very much.
If nothing else, Brother Mike was very definitely a poet. And in addition, from all the parts of his life that's represented here today, he had a personal life, which he kept very private. And we've been privileged today, and we're very thankful to Jackie, his partner, because his daughters are here, and they chose pieces he wrote. And they chose a piece, and they're going to perform it. So, right now, I'm going to ask Jamila and Solange to come on up. And probably, I didn't say who I was or why I'm standing here. I'm Zero Johnson, and I know so many of you from each of the different bodies of the work, but for some of you that I don't know. And I am a teacher. I was the first classroom teacher we worked with, and there'd be a whole trajectory to go with that. But giving context, These are the young ladies he raised, or to quote their mother, they don't know life without him, because he was always there. So as you hear his words from their mouths, understand what you're seeing happen.
This is Going Home by Brother. My children are going home. I can almost imagine the sound. My children are going home, across the waters where souls
We're lost and found, trapped in our mysteries, looking hard.
Now we are here at the defining moment where history defines history, where the daughters and sons of struggle can silence all the ancient history and whisper into the future dreams.
Without a Western context, the reality so true, mere American dreams can understand the concept.
Without conquest. Here we ask, what happens to a dream when it is systematically controlled?
Like an object exposed in a cave or a project. And we all do the process to approach that fear and love our progress, who assume that blacking people
Was godless. My children are here, black and proud, regardless. We send them with a promise
to return.
to reclaim the original role in a land where past often goes untold.
And if I know one thing, my children will tell it, the language of gold that we are great now before we were sold.
I wish I could see their feet touch the ground. I hope my mother can believe the sound of her babies returning with freedom in their smiles, reflection songs. They already know.
I wish I could write what they feel when they realize how we couldn't fall. I wonder how they would paint the moment when they see the greatness written on the wall.
I hope they breathe Africa and inhale her secrets. I hope they don't sleep in the nights inside Egypt. I hope they find the truth and believe it.
Read it, write it, dance it, sing it.
And repeat it. My children are going home with kingdoms in their pockets and dreams that they can picture.
From his work in the schools, North Kingwood, Oakland, and Carter, he looks in. One of the students, Jalen Jackson, will reflect on that.
Hi, I'm Jalen. I'm one of the Mike students. So, Brother Mike, I met him when I was in 6th grade. I was a very short, awkward, really nerdy, hyperactive kid who just like to draw doodles of cartoons all the time. Really, yeah, it was odd. And I remember being in class and we were talking about music, and he was like, who he has favorite like rappers and stuff. Everybody was saying these people like Soulja Boy and stuff, and I said, Rakim, because my dad used to teach me a bunch of old school hip hop. But my pastor was like, word? I was like, yeah, let's go. Revolution? I was like, okay. Moving on to that, I feel like I had a special talent. And then whenever I did something creative, I wanted to show him, I wanted to impress him. Like from the start, I joined poetry. I am not a poet at all. I have problems speaking in public usually. I'm kind of nervous right now. But like, yeah, I did poetry, I did video, I did photography, everything I did. Whenever I finished, I'd be like, look at Mike, check this out. Look what I did. And he'd be like, cool, word. Keep that going. So like throughout the school year, keep on doing projects. Like whenever you like somebody needs to do something, like, dude, try this out. Okay, that's tight. Yes, I always felt like a big brother to me because like whenever I did something, I just wanted to show it to him and I wanted to be like, yeah, and see what you taught me. Yeah. And then
after I got out of elementary school, after I got out of 8th grade, I didn't have any more classes with Mike, and I felt like that'd be weird because that was like one of my main goals. It was different. So I started going to new media, and I met all these other people that I feel like he touched their lives. I realized how much lives he touched around everybody around me. My friend EK is like, he's doing an open mic at the Art Center, and I can see that he got that directly from Brother Mike's influence of like him being a poet and him trying to touch everybody and bring together this community. It's just like, it's beautiful to me to see what Brother Mike has done for so much of the youth around Chicago. Like I look around and listen to all the music that's coming up, and I think like, Brother Mike helped teach these people. Like Chance the Rapper and Big Mix, and I just look at him like, I saw him talking to Brother Mike. He's like, I'm in total revolution. It's like, ooh. It just makes me happy to see how many people Brother Mike has touched in his life. I know it's influenced me, and I know he's influenced everybody else in different ways. And I just wanted to say the last thing he told me when I last saw him, it was over the summer, because I work with him every summer for some reason. You know, he told me the same things he always did. It made me feel good. He told me, I told him I was going to New York. He was like, he said, I know you're going to do something big. And I told him I'll try. And he just said, I know you will. And he gave me a hug. And I was like, now I'm trying to do something. I feel like I just wanted to see it. I wanted to tell me like a revolution, you know? So, right on. That's all.
Resolutions and statements will be read by members of the organization. 1 to 2 minutes. We'll start with the U Media Network National Writing Project. When you come, please introduce yourself, your organization, and do what you do. We do ask you honor the time limit. I'm not an MC, so I'm not going to call you up. Everyone goes. The next one should just come on up. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. I'm going to take that timing suggestion specifically for me. Hi, everyone. I'm Elise Nadal. I have the happy task of hosting and was at my organization, the U Media Learning Labs practitioner events. And I love that I got to come up after his daughters, after students he touched, spoke, and JLU would reference U Media. So I'm here to bring honor, love, and respect. And I hope I can get through this. From a huge network of educators that Brother Mike touched by his example, by his care with all of us, so that we could see the kind of care that he brought to his work with young people. So knowing that I could come and speak on behalf of the many practitioners and mentors across the nation that we touched, we talked a little, some of us, about what I would say. And several people remember the story, so a very quick story. One of our very first times that we had a retreat, a time for educators and practitioners to get together and share their lives and burdens and strengths and best practices. Brother Mike was coming, but he was late for this. Now, there's the late that often happens, and then there's the specific lateness. That was the lateness of a person who was actually doing many, many things. Trying to juggle a schedule, trying to get there, trying to make sure all the things that he attended to were going well, and then he would come and take some time for himself. The lateness of an incredibly busy and well-loved and needed person. So he came late to the retreat, and he arrived just in time for us to have a sharing student work that was made by young people from across the U Media Learning Labs. And so we were having a film festival, a music festival, and everything else, and he came in and he watched it with us and participated in the community, talking about the work. And afterwards, we sat together, and one of the things that he did was first, he owned what all of us as people who are trying to make the world a better place, sometimes feel that there's a lot of work to be done, and we sometimes get tired. We shared that when he arrived, that's how he was feeling. He was doing so many things and he had gotten tired. But he watched the work of the young people. And with every second, he said, he felt again energized. And by the end of that time, he was so fired up and so ready to go. And he looked at us and he said, if you're open, the youth will give you the strength you need for the next step. So we talked together, and everyone said, tell everyone that we learned from them to be open to the strength that young people will give you. That's the strength to take the next step. And say especially, and I'm here to say this for all the young people who are here, whose lives are touched, and who maybe wonder, his family, who maybe wonder where that strength will come from, you are the people that gave him strength for his life. And you can give it for each other, and you can give it to yourselves. And that was a lesson all of us learned from Brother Mike. So with honor and love and respect on behalf of the New Media Network, we want to say, that's love in revolution.
I have such vivid memories of walking into U Media. Being enveloped by the chaos and the noise, and then seeing Brother Mike across the room, giving me that smile, walking, that slow saunter, giving a nod, a word, tuning, calibrating, putting a hand on somebody's shoulder. He was doing this relational jujitsu, making the energy in the room better, more elevated. And I'm showing up with my colleagues and their faces just light up when Brother Mike shakes their hand. So I'm an educational researcher, I'm Mimi Ito, and I'm here representing the DML Hub and Connected Learning Alliance. And we spend a lot of time collecting evidence and trying to tell stories about how to make education better. But Brother Mike was really an embodiment of the spirit of connected learning in our movement. You know, we tell our stories and sometimes people listen. A lot of times it's hard for them to get it. But if Brother Mike is in the room, that changes everything. He really was our secret weapon in telling the story of what connected learning really meant in a way that people not only understood, but fell in love with and brought home with them. I found it amazing and magical that somebody so calm and gentle could have a presence that filled a room. He touched everybody with such a quiet and gentle touch. He could move anybody. And it was so fitting that Brother Mike was the first DY mentor because he infected all of us. His commitment was contagious. And it didn't really matter if you were young or old, or if you were an artist or a researcher or an educator, if you were from Chicago or halfway across the world, it didn't matter. So I'm just here to say from California, Brother Mike's family there at the Hub and the University of California and the whole Connected Learning Alliance, that I can speak for everybody in saying that we really hold tight to the spirit that Brother Mike has brought to our work in our lives.
I'm going to read kind of verbatim because I'm representing the voices of about 15 researchers. In 2006, a group of researchers from Stanford University, University of Chicago, and UIC, led by Drs. Bridget Barron and Kim Wilkins, began to study the digital youth network at the middle school that was right down the street from here. Over the course of multiple years, we had the privilege of learning from Brother Mike and documenting some of his transformational work. For example, one young woman who we call Ruby in our blog enormously benefited from Brother Mike's continued mentorship, developing from a soft-spoken 6th grader to an 8th grader ready to rule the world. Brother Mike's life, work, and way of being are a reminder of the kind of positive impact one person can make on one encounter at a time. And the importance of having deep social connections to inspire and provide meaningful context for learning, thinking, and doing. He could act when many of us could not. He made us more engaged. Brother Mike, with his thorough, focused thoughtfulness, combined with such a genuine, honest spirit, reminds us to step up in any small way to further his work. His presence, and now his absence, shows us how important it is to do this work, to connect every moment, to reconnect again and again, and to make those connections extend as far as we possibly can. Seeing the outpouring of similar sentiments from so many circles of interest, expertise, and location, that is the main movement. Thank you, dear colleague, mentor, and for touching our minds and hearts.
Good afternoon. I'm Beth Gillian. I'm a doctor in research at the University of Chicago. I'm going to read two statements. The first is written by my sister, Leah Gillian, who's the director of Hive New York. And she writes, "We at Hive Learning Networks have been greatly moved and inspired by Mike Hawkins and his incredible vision and leadership. One of Brother Mike's many gifts was his ability to nurture and foster the talents of others and recognize their singular contributions. He was steadfastly committed to a wide, inclusive, and participatory human community. He enacted his worldview with kindness, openness, love, and rigor. Above all, Hive Learning Networks will always treasure Brother Mike's attention to mentorship as a platform for which to inspire great things in others and to seed innovation, opportunity, and change in the world." My other job is I'm the co-founder of the Game Changer Chicago Design Lab. And so I'll also read a statement written by me and Steve Lynn. So we first met Brother Mike and worked with him directly doing digital stories. And with the leadership that only Connie Yao and Cheryl, we were doing a story around Lady Gaga. And we had a room full of young people who were supposed to explain to them what Lady Gaga meant to us on the south side of Chicago. Brother Mike took it on, and what he said was, it's part of the revolution. And what he did was he helped us make stories, particularly the two young people, one who had lost her mother and decided to write a story about her mother who's passing away, and another whose best friend was shot right in front of him. And as people who do storytelling know, you tell a story that's in your heart, you tell the story that you need to tell at that moment. And we've been doing stories for a while, but it wasn't until we worked with Brother Mike, with his attention and his artistry towards the visual narrative, he inspired us to push the technical envelope. And he exemplified the care and consideration that undergirds some of the most meaningful work that we're still doing today. When we look at our stories now, after having worked with Brother Wright, we say that they actually resemble short films more than traditional digital stories. And the folks in California will probably take us on about that one. But due to Brother Wright, we sometimes carry around 50 pounds worth of equipment, because that's what he taught us. That's what he taught us about how we bring this quality out of the work that we do with Brother Wright. And so it's, we're going to miss a lot of the Game Changer Chicago Design Lab, but hopefully as we look at the stories that we create in his memory, we'll understand his world. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jeff McCarter. I'm up here representing both Free Spirit Media and also the Chicago Youth Voices Network, which DYN was a member of. And I wrote something, but first just want to say what an honor it is to be here in this room with all you amazing people. It's our dear friend and family member, and well, revolution. That is what Brother Mike would say. I heard him say it so many times that his voice is etched in my mind with his hopeful fist and thoughtful smile. What revolution? Why? I always felt when I was with him in person, and now feel even further, that the revolution Brother Mike was talking about and reminding us of at every turn was the revolution that our world is calling out for, that we must bring about, that we are bringing about when we fight for justice, when we struggle for equality, when we take action to make positive change. Brother Mike was a revolutionary and a visionary and an inspiration and a friend and a heroic mentor. I was honored to be by his side, fighting the good fight. I will be forever inspired by his spirit. I know that I'm far from alone in this motivation, in this commitment, and in this love for the Mike. Revolution.
My name is Shane Evans. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the University of Chicago Charter School. University of Chicago Charter School is a pre-K to 12th grade superhighway college, which cultivates critical thinkers and leaders. We talk about college as it's the end goal for our young people, but it actually isn't. We said that we were cultivating critical thinkers and leaders. And the point is that we will lead a revolution from the south side on 47th and Cottage Road. You've heard a lot of people mention the University of Chicago. 40 years ago, they didn't even want us here. And isn't it amazing that now we have the opportunity to work with young people to actually lead that revolution because of the work that Brother Mike did with them on 47th and Cottage. Really quickly, if all young people who went to NKO Middle School, Carter Woodson, Donahue, or the University of Chicago Woodlawn campus, just please step up or stand up. I see some young men standing in the back. If you could step up. I see some young people in the audience in the back. If you could stand up. These young people go to Northern Illinois University, New York University, University of Illinois, Rutgers University. Yale University, a place I had never even heard of. But I want to be clear in that the revolution, they go to Howard University. They go to Bradley University. But the revolution that they're going to lead isn't about them or the universities they go to doing us a favor. We're doing them a favor. Because we're taking brilliance from the south side of Chicago and leading a revolution across the nation to say that this is even possible. It was an honor to work with Brother Mike. It was an honor to work with Digital Youth Network. And all I can tell you is that his impact will be felt thousands of years from now because of the young people that he touched. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sam Dyson, and I'm bringing love from the Hive Chicago Learning Network. Brother Mike was a loving and beloved member of many communities in this city and beyond it. And the Hive Learning Network was one of those communities that he touched. In November, we had a monthly meetup at the end of which we were able to say thank you and wish luck to Brother Mike for the impact he had on our community as he was transitioning to new work. And in December, just last Thursday, at our following meetup, still in shock and disbelief at his passing, we shared reflections in one word each of who Brother Mike was to us. And I'd like to share those words with you. Single words that reflect the impact he had on our community. Brother Mike was authentic, a lifesaver. He was revolution, soulful, genuine, truth, open, dedicated, love, power, respect, kind, inspiring, generous, and welcoming. Brother Mike's passing has left an irreplaceable hole in our communities. The enduring beauty of his life is that he has already filled that hole with the lives of the beautiful young people who he raised, mentored, and touched. Thank you.
As I was in the airport today, and I was flying from Washington, D.C., and said, "Oh, you want to meet family? It's the holidays, you want to family?" And I said, "Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing." So I'm very grateful to be here with all of you tonight. I am meeting this I'm here with Rudy Joshi from the Kennedy Center. We're your government, and I'm here to say thank you to Brother Mike. So I want to share with you just for a moment. The Kennedy Center, which serves all of you as our nation's cultural center, was pretty late to the digital media learning game. We really had an eye on the ball of arts education, making sure young people had access to the arts. But we didn't really quite sure what to do with this new thing called digital media learning. So I went to a conference. I was wandering aimlessly around. I'm quite sure that a beam of light fell right on Brother Mike. And I went up to him and I said, "I'm working on this project. Have you ever heard of a guy named Martin Benet?" Because I live in a world where you have to say things like that. So I said, you know, we want to talk to young people about the challenges that Marvin was addressing in 1972 in this country, and how he chose to turn his voice from one direction toward another. And I want to ask young people to share their voices with us and to use this giant megaphone called the Family Center to push their voices out there in the country to talk about the same issues that Marvin was grappling with and how they manifest for them in 2012. And it's sort of a citizen artist program, really. And he kind of looked at me, and then what did he say? Revolution. That's right, that's exactly what he said. So I got on the plane and I went home, and I said to Uday, I think we're good. I think this is gonna work. There's this guy. And that's exactly what happened. It did work. There was this guy, and he did some amazing work in the field of citizen artistry. It's something we talk about at the Kennedy Center quite a lot. The idea that, you know, all of us in this room are artists, whether we claim to label that or not, it's really a true thing. But not all of us are called, if you will, to share that artistic capacity with other people, and to take our roles as citizens very seriously through the application of our art, and through taking that next step of passing that art to other people, whether through teaching, or whether through just being brave enough to share your voice. And so I think the amazing thing for me personally, and I was so grateful when Keely said, come and talk about the impact Mike had at the Kennedy Center. That's good, that means I won't cry, because he had such a huge impact on me, personally and professionally. I think the important thing for us to muse on as we're moving forward is, what is our individual role? What does revolution really mean to us? He's changed us, that's why we're all here. We're in this room together tonight because Brother Mike changed our lives. And I think the question is, what are we going to do to take that energy and move forward and change other people's lives? So thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm so happy to be with family.
Brother Mike, a Renaissance man, is one of the most influential people that have graced this earth. A true revolutionary, a man who was completely for the betterment and advancement of Chicago's youth and everyone around him. I will forever be grateful for Brother Mike's work and presence in my life, because of him, I have interests. I'm so sorry. I'm nervous. Okay, sorry. Because of him, I have access to more opportunities, and I am now interested in the digital magic platform. Brother Mike's name will forever be ingrained in history among the names of Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo, Isaac Newton, Steve Jobs, and Toussaint Louverture, geniuses and the architects of a more perfect world. By the way, I am a host and I have the pleasure of working with Brother Mike as a member of the Chicago City Alliance Youth Council, Revolution.
Thank you, Hope. So I believe that youth work is one of the most important professions in the world. And Brother Mike was one of the best, if not the best, at what he did. And I'm ever grateful for being meant to work with him. As a youth advocate for the Cecil Youth Council, Brother Mike added another dimension to the work, but I can't put into words. It was color, it was rhythm. He approached the work with both freedom and structure. Structure in that we started and ended each session by declaring revolution. And for those of you who know Brother Mike, greeted everyone that way. He pushed the youth in our council. He built up their confidence so that they understood the importance of telling their stories. Their experiences had value, and he would explain that they're adding to the conversation and their audience needed to hear it.
This was a really perfect balance to the work that we created at the end of the summer. Brother Mike was like a big brother to everyone, and it is truly a great loss of Chicago area teens, and he will be missed. But tonight, this is an opportunity to celebrate what we have gained. And my God, look at how much we've gained. Brother Mike, my promise to Chicago teens, I promise to be color. I promise to be rhythm. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chuck Lewis. I guess I represent the University of Chicago and the McGraw YMCA Evans. This is a bit of a truncated version of what I said at the ceremony last week. It's a short story about connectivity among disparate communities. I call Brother Mike Pied Piper in dreadlocks. That's how I remember him. The Pied Piper in dreadlocks are connected with the guy in the suit who has a little hair left. This story starts in Evanston and goes to the south side, then to DePaul, then to the Loop, and finally back to Evanston. Nicole Pinker got her PhD at Northwestern in Evanston. We've heard how she and Achille started UIN. One of their first hires at UIN was Brother Mike. Together, the three of them moved to DePaul, where he eventually met Jackie. Later, DYN started along with Tommy Now. New Media, which you've heard about. Brother Mike became the lead mentor there, and my wife Penny Sebring did research on connectivity. Now, New Media ideas coming to the YMCA in Evanston. It will be called Meta Media. Penny and I helped to start it. I should have said earlier too that when Brother Mike started at the University of Chicago Charter School in the building next door, I was on the board at that time. I'm still on the board. I work closely with Shane. I was involved in actually trying to recruit Brother Mike to Meta Media in Evanston, and actually felt a little guilty about trying to steal him from Nicole. But we were looking for a Pied Piper for Meta Media. And we got a month and a half ago, started to work full time in anticipation of Meta Media's opening next month. And we got how the story ends. I will always remember Brother Mike as the Pied Piper. Good luck. They did try to lie.
Before I begin with the resolutions that for the people in the organizations who are here, I want to give a shout out to strong Black men, to present Black men, to never giving up, to hard work, and shout out to making you sit down and read that poem until it's not a poem anymore, until it's a mantra, until you believe it unconsciously. Shout out to saying it over and over and over again until you actually believe you were here first. It's not a thing. That's not real. It's still not real. Shout out to Brother Mike's brother. Shout out to his sister. Shout out to his babies. Shout out to the man I knew. This is from You Speaks in the Bay Area and the Breaking Voices community. There are beings we encounter that are sent to guide us, spirits that were made to lead, to bring the message we need to hear, to speak the revolution. Brother Mike has been a great host, colleague, friend, and brother to Youth Speaks and Brave New Voices community. Anytime Brave New Voices visited Chicago, Mike was a fierce partner and made sure we were most welcome. Mike was a tremendous teacher we admired and had the privilege of learning from him. His impact on young people is what we believe to be a prime example of youth and civic engagement. The resonance of his leadership has given us inspiration, recharging our own investment in youth voice. Mike was a brave new voice in his advocacy for young adults and a warm, generous man of tremendous spirit in the city known for its bitter cold. We continue this work and hoping we can achieve the type of passion and dedication he gave every day. Thank you, Brother Mike, for your contributions. Your revolution will continue. Thoughts on Brother Mike from Lisa Soet, Youth Radio in Oakland, California. You can hear the smile in Brother Mike's voice, sense the artistry in his thought, and feel his boundless warmth. Whether you were together applauding a room full of youth poets or rushing past each other on escalators at a mob academic conference, Brother Mike always created a genuine connection. The thing I'm struck by is how Brother Mike always came across as absolutely himself, which is very beautiful, and it seems like he was always, in big and small ways, creating community through his signature mix of poetry, mentorship, and revolution. It was Brother Mike who brought youth radio into the Kennedy Center's What's Going On Now project, commemorating the anniversary of Marvin Gaye's iconic album and exploring its relevance today. That project was so powerful for youth radio students. And today I found myself thinking about all the world-changing work that is going on now, thanks to Brother Mike. I'm thinking about the learning spaces he co-created, Digital Youth Network and Media, and I'm thinking about the model he set for how to pursue new possibilities for learning, resilience, art, and justice. Brother Mike made a place for everyone in this world. He made it all seem possible because he was doing it all the time. And now, with gratefulness for having known him, we promise to be a part of the everlasting project of making sure that his bright light shines on. This is from David Washington, Vim Ayandele, and Vina Larkley with the Partnerships for Purpose, also in Los Angeles. It's every so often you meet an individual who clearly brings forth light into the world, light of hope, light of creativity, light of compassion. Brother Mike Hawkins was this light. We at Partnerships for Purpose had the good fortune of meeting and working with Brother Mike in the run-up to the launch of Lady Gaga's Born This Way Foundation, and one of its key elements, the One Great Bus. From our very first phone calls and Skype sessions with Brother Mike and the students who mentored at UMedia in Chicago, it was evident we had stumbled upon something and someone very special. Not only did we find a group of inspired youth and a revolutionary organization, but in Brother Mike we found a mentor and a dear friend. As we continued our work with Brother Mike in the DML community, it was obvious that he was one of those rare people who adds value to the lives of anyone lucky enough to encounter him. His sincerity, conviction, and warmth radiated in every second of every interaction that we enjoyed with him, and his light will continue to shine for his family, his friends, his mentees, and all of us here at P4. The revolution is not over, it's just begun. This is from Kathy Lewis, the Sprout Fund in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. First and foremost, Brother Mike always showed youth here in Pittsburgh. He was someone I look forward to getting to see, and I hope his colleagues and family know how much he was appreciated. Last one. This is from the Office of the Mayor, the City of Chicago. Proclamation. Whereas the city of Chicago has always been home to unrelenting teachers, poetic pioneers, dedicated activists, and awe-inspiring artists, very seldom have we graced the presence and efforts of a man righteous enough to balance all of these titles. And whereas the people of the city of Chicago mourn the loss, but celebrate the life of Chicago poet and mentor and cultural giant Mike Hawkins. And whereas Hawkins, known to all his brother Mike, stood tall as an educator and as an advocate who encouraged, inspired, and galvanized Chicago's young artists and innovators to share their talent and passion with the world. And whereas Brother Mike came into his own during the 90s in the height of hip-hop in Chicago's burgeoning poetry and spoken word scene, and whereas constantly honing his craft and growing his skill set, Brother Mike never forgot about those coming behind him and actively sought ways to empower and equip generations of talented young Chicagoans, whether through underground open mics, involved community programming, or ambitious city initiatives. And whereas Brother Mike was an intricate man of perpetual endeavor, who practiced and promoted various modes of self-expression.
You better read.
And whose dynamic
You better read.
and whose dynamic legacy lives on not only through his children, Jamila and Solange and partner Jacqueline, as well as his family, but also through his work, his passion, his life with poetry, for the Lyricist Loft at Media at Steam Studio, and through every soul fortunate enough to encounter him. And whereas on December 21st, 2014, a host of family, friends, and fans will gather to remember Brother Mike, a stellar example of a Chicagoan, and reflect on his life's mission to recognize art and the artist in every form. Now, therefore, I, Ram Emanuel, Mayor of the City of Chicago, do hereby proclaim December 21st, 2014 to be Brother Mike Hawkins Day. In remembrance of the man, the mission, and the movement, and urge all Chicagoans to continue the important work of seeing the vision and hearing the voices of all of our youth and young adults. Dated this 18th day of December 2014.
Tribute. And we have others who still would like to speak. So let us complete the memorial service and we can transition into the next phase. New media is going to become now the place that so many met him and he helped to create.
Hi, I'm Katie Campbell, and I'm the media alum. So I don't remember the first time. I saw him, right? And I don't remember our first conversation. Or the first time I saw him wearing makeup, or my first impression.
keeping up with it and working on it and started running over to where he walked in to show them what they were proud of because they wanted to have some super cool guy. And when I first met him, I was 14 years old, taking angsty self-portraits in my bedroom, and posting them on the media website, and he happened to see them. And somehow he saw what my art could be beyond being just angst and self-obsession. And he decided to give me the opportunities to further myself in what I was doing, because he did that with everyone. He would look at what any kid was doing and envision what they could become beyond just that. And he didn't do any of the things that he did because he had to, or because he thought any of us had never done a paycheck. And he really believed what we were doing. The earliest conversation that I remember having with him was giving me an idea of why everyone loved him, because he had crazy, the most like outrageous ideas for things and these events that he wanted to make. And somehow he would always make them work, even when they sounded like they were completely outrageous. And so he came up to me and he said, like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. We're trying to succeed. We might get to work with like this super cool like figure with a lot of recognition, so get together a team, and I'll let you know when I have more information. And the next thing I knew, I was in Boston, sitting in front of the center at the launch of Lady Gaga's event with my best friend, because my kids somehow made that happen. And after that, no matter how unrealistic the ideas seemed, I followed him on whatever path he had found for me. So I followed him. I followed his guidance to my first feature in the Huffington Post, and I followed him to the University of Chicago to photograph the Bringing Voices event from the first day to the last competition. And I followed him this summer to the John F. Kennedy Center to see my work there as a part of the Green experiment. And while I don't remember the first thing that I said to him, I remember the last thing he said to me. It was right after the end of Team Studio. And I thought that was how I was listening for the summer. But then I went out to see my boyfriend's band play at a concert, and he happened to be there because one of my bosses was in their band. And he came with to photograph the event and to see her perform. And so I did what any youth seeing an adult authority figure that they thought school was. Talking to my boyfriend so much that stopped wearing so much. I started to like sort of sense of myself, so I still think I was a big kid. And but as he was leaving, he came up to me and said, like, I don't know what you do, but my room is sitting over there, and I'm about to leave, and so I can't think what happens after I'm gone, but I'll see you later. And I think that the reason that meant so much to me, and I'm really glad that that's the last conversation with him, is because to me that was the first time he was seeing me as not just some kid, as a mentor. But because he really cares about me, and every kid that he really cares about. And because of his support, I'm at the school that I dreamed of, and I'm living in a city that I always loved, and I learned how to advocate for myself and how to believe in what I was doing.
This picture is the work of a young lady who just spoke. normally don't read, normally speak off the cuff, but this moment, this reflection required careful 11 days of just thinking and reflecting, and I felt that I owed it to the spirit of Mike to be very specific and particular about the words I'm going to say. A reflection on Brother Mike, turning a moment into a movement. The DYM family was fortunate to say thank you to Brother Mike 2 weeks before his passing, as we celebrated him taking on the challenge of launching Metamedia at the YMCA in Evanston. And Mike, always a teacher, taught us something that night as he went around the room personally, acknowledging each person's unique contribution to his life. It was magical in the lesson and the importance of showing gratitude to others. So to the entire DYM family of mentors, staff, funders, collaborators, and most importantly, parents and students, Akili and I say thank you, as it is often the collective work of the many that allow the work of individuals to shine. And we are here today because Brother Mike is one of those individuals who shine and whose life's work deserves to be highlighted and celebrated. But he was and will continue to be the soul of DYM, which started over 11 years ago when two computer scientists, Akili and I, a poet, a funder collaborator in the MacArthur Foundation, and a charter school in the University of Chicago, and their faculty, began a journey based on the audacious belief that our babies, and thus is the word Mike always used, our babies, regardless how old they were, if provided the right mentors, peers, technology, instruction, and showcase opportunities they found they viewed as valuable, could develop the fluency not only to prepare themselves for a world where digital literacy would be essential for communicating and having careers that supported a quality life, but also serve as the existence proof that digital literacies could be taught in informal settings and made valuable in academic settings. Thereby, along with our DML colleagues, launched what has come to be known as the connected learning movement that is being taken up and remixed in organizations, libraries, communities, and cities nationally and internationally. But this phrase, turn a moment into a movement, has me trying to figure out what moment began the movement. But being in this space, home of the DYM studio, and next door to where our collaboration began in the old San Ambrose building, lead me to realize that it wasn't a moment, but a series of moments, often driven by Mike's ability to see and his passion to address problems he was seeing in the messages embedded in the media artifacts created by you, and need to challenge you to learn skills they didn't know existed, or that you could be passionate about, or just simply the desire to ensure that his babies could create as good or better than other youth-born with more advantages, that led to innovations such as the record label class, Behind the Remix, Freedom Fridays, the Common Remix Tape, Mark Echo Sweat Equity Project, Lyricist Law, One Book More Chicago, Media Showcases, the Kennedy Center Marvin Gaye and Blue Note Projects, Lady Gaga, Born Brave Bus Tour, and Steam Studio. While each of these innovations was designed and implemented in collaboration with other mentors, librarians, teachers, partner organizations, and youth, one could always tell a Brother Mike production, as there was always an element of play, discussion, history, poetry, and a phenomenal showcase where a diverse group of youth will blow you away with their dedication to using their digital skills to make their voice heard. And on the side would be Mike nodding his head with a smile and a touch on the shoulder to each of his babies as they came off the stage. These showcases happened because of Mike's ability to create a space that where youth yearned to be, where they were expected and empowered to grow and develop with each artifact and performance. He created spaces with a powerful sense of energy that challenged other mentors to step up their game, to keep students in their pods and workshops. Youth on their own, without being paid, put in the work in spaces online and at home and on the weekends to ensure their products represented them to the best of their ability. And all it took were 3 words of critique and demonstration from Mike on how to do it differently that would have him put in more time. From him, many students learn to iterate, to give and take critique, and to own the messages they put forward. In reflection, this lesson is the same that Brother Mike was taught by his mentors, and he so eloquently shared in the CLA Commission video, where he speaks on mentoring that I hope you've all seen. In some sense, the smoothness of Brother Mike and his humbleness often masks the skill, craft necessary to do what Mike and other mentors do. And we owe it to ourselves to create the opportunities and spaces for other Brother Mikes to develop. That is why, through the support of MacArthur and UIN, the Chicago Community Trust will be the home base of the Brother Mike Scholarship Fund, designed to support mentors. Designed to support mentors in developing their craft and impacting their communities. But Mike made it look so easy. One might forget that he taught himself all the digital literacies he taught. Did you know he even learned robotics? As 1 year he co-led the U.S. first robotics team. Mike also put in the time to develop his teaching craft, the innovative programs and projects, while simultaneously staying connected to his babies and documenting their stories as they develop their digital literacies. I think of the many times I awakened at 5 a.m. to an email from Mike sent at 2 a.m. containing a keynote, a poster, or a new idea, or I jumped on Remix to see a post from Mike commenting on the student's work or challenge he used to create his competition. So to his family, I want to say thank you for graciously sharing his time with all of us. So as we reflect here today, we say to Brother Mike, who is looking down with a camera in hand, because of the multitude of moments you made possible with your undying commitment and tireless energy, you ignited a revolutionary movement that isn't over. But like the social networks of our time, continues to expand on a daily basis through the work of each of us as we continue into the world with our education, careers, and passions, infused with what you taught us about using digital literacy to make our unique voices heard. And I want to close with a passage from the book on UIN that has Brother Mike author out. In the opening to a chapter that talks about artists as mentors and teachers, it says, one of the mentors, Brother Mike, is leading this meeting. He goes to the board and points to a section entitled Agenda and to the words connections. As Mike begins to address the group, the school bell rings loudly. He continues to speak. I'm wondering how we can reach students. For us to be connected in this world, we have to stand for our students and make that our dedication. Take 3 minutes to yourself to reflect on that student. Who are you going to stand for? If students are at the center of our work, then which student are you going to ride with? With whom are you doing this for? Brother Mike, the movement continues. There are plenty of youth and young adults who still need Brother Mikes in their lives to stand for them. So I challenge each of us to continue his work and to find just one young person who we want to put in the moments necessary to stand for. As I promise you, based on what we have read coming across the Twitter feed, from the young people who Mike touched, especially the young Black men. These moments will impact their lives and prepare them to participate fully in the movement. Revolution.
I'm standing over there listening as everyone's speaking, and I'm looking around the room. And outside of conferences, I never get to see the variety of different people in the same room at the same time. I only wish everyone had a Google Glasses sign over their head so you actually knew who you were standing next to give some context of the fact that Brother Mike's reach was limitless. The people in the room tell his story, and they are the movement. The revolution has begun. And so as BYM is working to put this together, and they say, well, please use words of comfort and close us out. And ministerially, I have appropriate distance. It's so easy. You keep a flow and you keep an order. But Mike is my friend. And so then I get to look at his family. I get to meet his sister. And you, for the first time, understand that all the organizations and the impact is great. Because people have lost someone they love. And then you go, wow. It hurts. I'm never remiss to refer us to the idea that, see, it is finished. Those were the last words Christ said on the cross. And the reason I say it is finished is because the work wasn't done, because that was a moment, and 2,000 years later, this is how the movement. People still wake up Sunday morning and they go places. On April 3rd, 1968, in his speech, I've been to the mountaintop, Dr. King wrote, I may not get there with you. That was a moment, but the movement goes on. Everyone has already identified that we are the movement, and what we do defines us. But someone asked me, when I walked into the BYM offices, the day we found out. He said, why? Why? I don't know. Just for the record, going to seminary doesn't give you the answers. God doesn't call me something. There's a secret, like, rule book of answers. I guarantee you that. So you don't know. But there's something about greatness. Because then you start reflecting from X to King. Christ himself. There's something about completing your job and it's done. Now, that doesn't take care of us who are here. Because really, that's where the word of comfort was from. Good, we heard. I'm over there crying because I'm hearing about my friend, but then I'm thinking, words of comfort, maybe not. Because I'm also a teacher of history. And no revolution has been sparked from a place of comfort. If you're comfortable, you're not changing. And if you're not changing it, we're not all in this room together. We're not shifting how students learn, how they create, but more importantly, how they become grown people who are set out in the world, seeing everything that you've heard happen gives you a very unique perspective. Hearing the two young ladies read that piece gives it a voice. And being in this room speaks to the impact. Now, how do you feel in the blank? You want to be comforted. You want to feel well. You want to be okay. You're already okay. See, because usually at this point, we like to put a piece out there so everybody can grab something and take it with them. So here's the piece. The movement continues. And the movement continues as each of us remembers. Not just on the 21st, which is an honor beyond belief, but you see, that allows this moment to stop and go revolution. Because there's an opportunity for all of us to change. And when Reverend Mike walked into my classroom, I wasn't rigid when I was a teacher. And I had a very clear thought of how things should be done. And Brother Mike and I worked together 11 years. Until you guys said that, I didn't realize that. 11 years. And we were trying to come up with an actual date. 11 years. In my classroom, and you start breaking it down, and you go, wow, that's a quarter of my life. And then you begin to realize, and then you go to DePaul, and you realize that DePaul had a vision, and Akila gives us a certain order, and Snake hides behind in the back. But you see the structure to it. Mike gave it a heart. The young people gave it a life. And then you see a whole variety of mentors who've come and gone, and you see parents, and you see organizations. Then you're reminded we're in the midst of a movement. And so we own our grief, we hold our grief, we pick ourselves up, and then we acknowledge in his greatness, it is finished. He did what he came to do. He laid the groundwork. You read it all around the country. Schools are opening maker spaces. Community centers are opening places where people can go. We have rappers, we have artists, we have filmmakers, we have photographers, we have students who create things we're looking at. Now the question becomes, what do you do? The movement continues. You don't need to be comforted, you need to get active. You need to begin to identify that the movement goes on. Now, we all knew Brother Mike was a different point of view. Some of us need to be comforted. Some of us need to be helped. Some of us need to know that time is a miraculous stop for the pain. So I wouldn't be arrogant or naive enough to say, don't breathe. But know that you are in our prayers, you're in our thoughts. And he has left an impact that can't be touched. As you look around the room and you're from an organization, hold that fight and move forward because the movement continues. And I'm sure like young people in the room see because what you remember is that, said, we're doing it for them. I told myself I was not going to cry. I'm not going to do that. We're doing it for them. And you said, what do they need to be the best that they can be? And we understand you make decisions. And your life builds off of your decisions. But one of the things Brother Mike often used to say, and we used to have one-on-one conversations, we knew each other for so long, we would sit and we would talk, is that let people need the option to make the right decision. They need the right choices to be able to make. See, everyone can identify the wrong ones, but they need the right ones. So as you begin to move forward and the movement continues, and the organizations have programs, and the teachers teach, and the students do what they do, and everyone moves on, and we pray for the family, you are the legacy. You are what he speaks to. You are the revolution right on. Yeah, but that sounds good. But now when I see you, what have you done with it? I'm not sure I want to leave you comforted. I'm going to leave you as a foot soldier. take your marching orders, go forth, continue the revolution. Lick your wound, pick yourself up, and let the fight go on. Revolution. This has been an appropriate and fitting memorial. He would love it. The room has me and all. I actually want a panoramic iPhone view of just the living room. And I'm now going to begin to prepare us for a transition. This is going to end the official memorial service part of the program. So now, before we start about movement, I'm going to bring up one of the mentors, and that's what I always say. I tell you, artists are teachers and teachers are artists. And as I invited the variety of them into my classroom, Brother Mike being first, I always had a love relationship. It was great to have another body there, but we want to let her explain how this transition is going to go, guide us through it, and then begin to conduct ourselves accordingly. So we thank you for coming out. We thank you for honoring his memory. If you are a young person whose life he's impacted, own that. Don't say it. Don't talk about it. Do it. I was going to say be about it. That's how they go. I'm sorry I said that. So do what you do. But definitely, you are the legacy we speak to. The moment is the movement. Okay.
All right, so my name is Jovia Armstrong. I was one of the mentors at New Media, who's working Mike. For a minute, it was just me and him looking after our babies, as he always called them. And now I look around and our babies are adults who are always begging me for recommendations to get some job or get to grad school at the right time. They always need something, it never stops, right? I do want to kind of encourage everybody here before I introduce this very important group to, if you're going home after work every day and turning on the TV to relax, and that's not what he did. For us to continue his legacy, we have to follow his footsteps. We have to follow in his footsteps. I just heard quite a few of young people when they were in the studio a few minutes ago that they said, we're starting organizations and there's so much going on right now and you guys taught us so much, we learned so much from Brother Mike. And we don't know if we can do what he did. Because he did, he stayed up till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning working. You know, I mean, I was there till 1 or 2. And he wanted 5, 6. Like, I can't keep up with this guy. But I learned as much as I could from him. And so I just want to encourage everybody here, because I know what it means to go on my Facebook account and have a message from one of these students. Take time out. Don't look at the kid in the store and say, that's not my problem. Don't do that. Our community is our problem. You know, so make sure that you are speaking to a child. Make sure that you ask them, hey, what's up, how are you doing? Because I promise you that's all they want. It is so easy. It is so easy. They just want you to say, how are you? What's going on?
They just need somebody to listen, don't judge them, lay out some options for them and say, well, you can do this or you can do that. It's on you, you know? I want to introduce to you guys a very special project that Brother Mike helped to start in 1999. In 1999. That was a very pivotal point for Chicago. I'm not even from Chicago, I'm from Detroit, and I know this. I came here for the event, it was through Black Fist Magazine.
Wow.
Me as a percussionist, I knew the editor, she said, I want you to come to Fred Hampton Jr. event. There's going to be poetry and music. And I came, I drove all the way from Detroit, and that is where I met Brother Mike. And we stayed in touch for a little bit. And I remember the band that's here tonight, they were there, and the group that Brother Mike started. And what I want to do right now is introduce them. I'm going to start off by, and this won't take long, I'm going to read their mission statement. It won't take long because they wrote it in like 0.16 font, so. The name of this group that he helped to start was Poetry Chicago. Spelled P-O-E-T-R-E-E. And even then, I thought it was a amazing thing. Like, oh, poets and music, even though we had it before, it was not done like this. And we saw this like hair by himself, right? We had a whole group of young folks doing poetry that talking about things that matter was like, oh, this is dope, you know? And as I introduce them, you're also going to have a few of Mike's closest students from New Media. Actually, they were D1N students. He knew them a long time, so we're going to have a few of them come up with poetry. So I'll just read this. Our goal is to teach, reign, entertain, and prosper in all industries of artistic expression. The Poetry Chicago plans to serve as a venue for up-and-coming artists to establish themselves as prominent poets, writers, dancers, actors, artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs in the entertainment industry. Our mission is to inspire youth and adults to partake in a cultural renaissance that fosters the importance of self-respect, wisdom of self, as well as cultural and international unity. Y'all may not see how important this is, but you don't have bands creating mission statements anymore. This is dope. The Poetry Chicago was founded in 1999 by Teray D. Hale Sr., aka Phenom. And Mike Hawkins, aka Brother Mike. Innovative writers, poets who sought to create an entertainment conglomerate that allowed local artists to express their talent and knowledge. The motivation behind the creation of the entertainment group was derived from a consistent request of artistic diversity from the underground and commercial audience of hip-hop and poetry. Although the hip-hop and poetry scene was colored with artists displaying various talents, the scenes were segregated, reflecting a monotonous image in each of the respective venues. Phenom thought if all of these different scenes were to be mixed, it would create a fruitful mosaic and would revolutionize poetry. Phenom brought the idea to a talented self-proclaimed poet, Brother Mike, and the two set out to create one of the biggest and most prolific entertainment groups ever assembled. Definition, poetry is rhythm. Rhythm is the beating motion of the heart which transports life throughout the body. Singing is poetry slowed down. Rhyming is poetry sped up. Art is poetry visualized. Theater is poetry acted out. Dancing is poetry in motion. Poetry is the product of all of these collective expressions. Therefore, all forms of entertainment and performance stems from poetry, making poetry the tree of life. Hence, the poetry. I want to spell that out one more time. It is spelled Poetree, poetry. I hold in my hand right here a photo with poetry in common. What year is this? 2002. And turns out that they have had 11 members in this group. Sadika, Brother Mike, Kalaj, Phenom, Nikki Lynette, Sufi Sifu, Issa Star, Rhythm, Issa Star, Rhythm, Mirage, Luca Huntus, and Marla Rod. And tonight, we have the original members here. And as they come up, I would like for students from media, where are you guys at? Still over here? Okay. I would like you guys to come up with them. But I'm going to introduce to you Issa Star, Rhythm, Phenom, and last and never, ever least, in spirit with us today, Brother Mike. Before we begin our open mic, a few of the students are going to say a few things. Again, these are my babies, my adult babies now. I'm so happy to see them tonight. But they're going to say a few short things. Please stick around if you can. Celebrate with us. Poetry, will be doing some original poetry, like we've never been done before. Pieces. Thank you. Right here, we have Dennis.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak on my relationship with Brother Mike at Lyrics and Talk after the miracle, but I remember that I forgot one thing. I want to say that one of the most important lessons that he taught me was love. And if he wasn't around to give it to us, he made sure that he put people around to give it to us. And he also made sure that he was surrounded by people to give it to him. So with that being said, they say that behind every strong man, there's a stronger woman. So I want to thank Jack for being the backbone to me.
Good evening, everybody. Marcus First. It's at Howard University, Music Education. Yes. I think the greatest thing is if we just step outside of the program for a second, just for everybody to take a chance and look around the room. really quick. Just observe. Some of you may see people that you know, some of you may see people that you don't know. And I just want to say that this entity that we are right now is Brother Mike. You know what I'm saying? This is him. You know, the situation that we have. And that's how we understand that he's never really gone. You know what I'm saying? That's the greatest thing. The lessons that we teach through each one of us now have been unfortunately the way that the torch changes. We have to have it. It's our job to make sure that the next generation gets it. Also, just want to take the time to say, if there's anyone, you know, that you guys hold dear, anyone that you guys love, make sure that you get a chance to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you get a chance that they know how you feel. Apparently, I had a situation where I just learned today that the other Mike and Kim, she's somewhere back there, one of the directions there. She told me that they were having a conversation about me on Monday before, and I had no idea. I was stuck in DC for Thanksgiving break. Stuck in DC for finals during Louisiana service, and there was just no time that I had to. But I feel like I told them like thank you. So again, I want to take this time also to thank all of my mentors that are in the room, to thank all of my friends that are in the room, to thank everybody that's here, and let them know that I love you very much. And that's my piece.
Hi guys, my name is Sarah. I'm also the Howard in audio production. The best thing I can say about Mike, there's a lot that he practically actually saved my life. He caught me at a really interesting time where I was like, hey, let me mess up my life completely. And he was like, no. So he was actually most the first man to remind me that I am a queen, and ever since I haven't forgotten. I just wish I could have told him one last time how much he really meant to me. I'm not good at public speaking. Just want to say, like Martin said, like just make sure everybody you love knows that from you today, before you leave, tell them, hey, I love you, I appreciate you. And we definitely have the torch now to touch as many hearts as possible and make an impact. So just, yeah, man, make sure you're doing everything for you, but that you reach back because the kids are everywhere. So.
Good evening, everybody. My name is George Michael. I've been with Brother Mike since 2005, 2004, 2005 was my 7th grade year. And looking at everybody here is just, wow. I never thought I would know people like this in the same world, from adults, kids that got inspired by Brother Mike. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. I saw him the same event that Dr. Payne was talking about, celebrating his move to make better media in Evanston, Illinois. And we were just talking about how much he loves inspiring youth and how much he loves teaching kids and being so selfless to help as many kids as possible from New York to Los Angeles to wherever he could reach his arms. And even then, he will make that big old jump to go help out the kids. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, I love Brother Mike so much. And at Lyricist Loft that I would go to every Wednesday, we had a chant. And whenever he would say power to the people, the kids would say, this is not, and also in the words of Brother Mike, that was very lame. I would need more energy from the crowd. So, power to the people! Power to the people! Power to the people!
I'm a senior in Hawkins College. I'm creative writing and a criminal law minor. After the death of Brother Mike Hawkins, I wanted to find the perfect term to name him, to just sort of commemorate what he did for the youth of Chicago. So when anybody asks me who Brother Mike Hawkins is, I call him the father of the Chicago Millennial Renaissance. There was no significant contributor to either the social movement or the artistic movement that comes out of Chicago that is of millennial age that was not affected by this man. So he is truly the godfather of the Chicago Millennial Renaissance. We thank you.
Hello, my name is E.K. Roye. I'm a senior at Kenwood Academy. I met Brother Mike in 8th grade when I lied to everybody in the media and said I was a freshman so I could get in. And he completely turned my life around and formed me into the person I am today. He gave me the power to realize my words matter, and what I have to say matter. He gave us all that gift. He gave us gifts of love. He gave me a family there. And I just want to say I love everybody in the media that supported me and cheered me. It's like, very good family I have there. And I love all y'all. I love everybody here. It's great to see all the people out here. And it's just beautiful to see that his love spread this far. Thank you.
And now, we bring up Phenom.
That was good. Where my spot at? 2-2. Whatever. East. Okay, of course, I was late. Okay, that's easy. What's up, y'all? Oh my goodness, no. I can't have it. Not at all, not even a little bit. What's up, y'all? Hey! All right, I'm gonna speak first. Okay. Right there, Adam Bomb. This is the place where the greatest athlete of our time did his work. Michael Jordan, yes? This is the place where the biggest media giant in one person did her work here. Oprah, yes? Okay. The Nation of Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, headquarters right here, yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Let's go on the other side. What they call street tribes, gangs. The Gangster Disciples, the Black Peace Zone Rangers. Willie Lord, here, yes? Chicago don't build no punks. What? Chairman Fred Hampton. Senior and junior. Right here. Operation Push. Well, that's another discussion. However, Chicago breeds a special type of person. And I keep hearing these 11s. I heard 2 11s. Who was at Brother Mike's homegoing? Who was there? We talked about 11s. We talked about 11s and what Brother Mike was showing us with these 11s. Brother Mike itself has 11 letters in it. So does Mike Hawkins. He passed at 38. 8 plus 3 is what? right? Poetry Chicago had 11 members in it. The last recruited member has 11 letters in her name. It's several more. But the one we picked out that stuck with us, oh, okay, a couple more. His Queen's favorite number is 11. He's like, what is this? Tell me about it. Yes. His daughter is 11. He has two. The youngest one is 11, who spent the most, yes. Okay, so he was put in the ground on the 10th, which left that next day for us to become the 11th. Who here has been doing any work, anything, pushing anything, doing anything since the 11th? I swear, man, James has been coming through. I promise. Today is the 21st, 2 months, 11. That's crazy.
That was good. That was pretty good.
I keep wanting to cry, man. I keep wanting to, I need to know every single detail of what happened to my brother. I need to know his last moments. I need to know everything. I'm not at rest. But every time I hear this 11, I get to understand that for Nam, it was written that we was all on some self-esteem. We was like, man, we just want to. This is all we were supposed to get of a brother Mike. Listen, this is all we were supposed to get. So whatever you got of him when you had him, that was it. We cry and it hurts. Yes, it does. It's going to hurt a million times, man. However, that's how the story was written. I remember going standing outside of 2337, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. acknowledging me in the house right now. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. right there. Revolutionary Black Panther Party, President of the Conference Committee, OTC. What's called? I remember us being out there, man, and it was like 11 people out there. Like 11, 10 people out there. And he was speaking. And Mama Cool was out there and he was speaking. And everybody wasn't there, man. And it was beautiful because we was freezing to death. And one thing Chairman was saying to us as he was coming up on the scene, watching all the other poets go get girls at the set. We changing lives, man. One thing he would say, power to the people. Power to the people. He would say, Brother Mike passed. Do you know how many shorties around this world he got said? Power to the people. Chairman, it works. It works. Anybody that has a Brother Mike memory, it's not just for you to keep. That's why he called himself brother. Pass it on, man. Nobody is going to be here forever. Everybody that existed before us kept the world in shape for us to inherit. And the next time we see Brother Mike, he's going to be in all the way. He got a day. Brother Mike got a day. So everybody, please, let's rise up. Let's rise up. Please, everybody stand up real quick. I mean, y'all starting to eat. Y'all starting to eat. It's all right. Brother Mike gave us a lot of food. A lot of food. We got a book of his poems, and he wrote in like 4-point fonts. 4 points. It's crazy. So we're gonna start this energy off like this. We're gonna do this affirmation. Everybody put your hands up like this. Get some lean like Brown. This means solidarity. We don't surrender. We come together. Repeat after me with your actions and your words. Oh my!
Oh my!
Oh yes, yes. That was softer than the wet flag. Oh my!
Oh my!
Man, 38 years. I heard y'all scream louder for like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. All my brothers and sisters must come together. We'll come together. Have come together. We free ourselves. We free our community. And we free our world. If I eat, if you eat too. When I win, you win too. If I got cookies, power to the people. This time y'all say right on. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people.
You can have a seat, you can chill, you can do what you don't do. We just don't put this energy in the air. All these hours Brother Mike put in this building, when there was nobody in this room, to help free some minds of the youth. Get free.
Up in the sky, there is a bird. Let's soaring high, let's soaring high.
Sunday, our original band.
Organized campaign, teaching, writing, education, everywhere.
And I want to let you know, it's the summer solstice, so that means the sun, it has to be, and it's doing its thing. So you are, yes, a power.
We had this training team taking this poetry scheme further than anything your concept can be. Through the smoke screen, we are putting out the teams out be frozen like the insurance happy. Not even that TV screen, baby, we bring false words. Burning out quicker than the concrete on me. We keep our scriptures, all the fees to avoid the fees. We use back to keep the needs. We stay away from two-headed snakes out of the scheme. That put their names in lights to watch it clean. See if we have to do this thing, strictly for the green. We about to drive off the cliff and put into the ravine. Swallow the hope, let it see your blood scream. Go over like baby, know that you're supreme. Positive energy, from your energy. Open your mouth wide, and let the soul scream. You are. You are. You are. You are. Yes, yes, look up. Yes, what we
The witness.
Yes, what's the poetry? Poetry. The poetry.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah, right. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. poverty was great. Drop the joint to the ground, let's know it, baby. You gotta think around, listen what we did with us. Revolution, our music, resolution. We ain't poverty, we're positive, we're listening.
That was powerful. I did that.
They the hip hop and we were the tree.
Tree. Okay, so this piece right here.
Yes.
This piece that we did, this is our most classic piece together.
Yes.
We decided each to call me one night, and said, "Yo, we should write a rhyme about how all of our relationships are in turmoil right now." What's up? All of our relationships are tore up. And right, it was easy for me because I had baby mama grown like in like 30 minutes. I called her back, I was like, look at mama, she's like, ooh. Let me see what brother Mike got, let me see what Billy got. And we came up with this piece right here. Raise your hand if you know what some about spinning.
Confusion, illusion, solution, confusion. Like I never expected it to end this way. Like that cliche they say, he loves me, he loves me.
Just tonight though.
From my records, I got too hot, he spin me around like I'm top. You make me break together like I was top. Up and down, around this road. Sitting at home at the earth and cold, smoke and roll. I'm just control. I love when I last forever. The knowledge and wisdom did not have together. So I tried to get this fertilized in my seed. So no one cared how it should be. Breathe, love, trust. Come on, I know one more than one baby dead. But I'm thankful for those that be able to work me. I heard baby with me. She and out of my life is baby mama was never his wife. This is my life is all to hear. I love you all. Mixed in the singer once again. When the serious touch I was in, he said I knew we were only friends while he was dancing with other families.
Don't worry about him.
He had me. Dead.
She seduced me, easy, helpless, I stood, take my life to be great on her lips, I would, break that in her chest, now be that I should, raise her existence, through that I could, how did I fall into her trap and let her become my reason for living this life I wanted to be her life, I do not understand why, do I fight for her, why, when I die for her, I will not feel for her, I would be like for her, I would go through down and back, I would die for her. She loves me because I love her because when she ain't me because no, I love her because she is not me so through her when she would be clear with me. Let me know that she won't even always be arguing with me. Why is it she let me know she wants me to hold her, always keep her right next to my mouth. Just like myself. I want to be with the girl that I have to be happy with her. It's all been good. Turn it to the next level. I'm All right, so we're gonna end our section right here. We can rock for like an hour and a half, man. But we want to open it up so that your energies and your voices and your words can be presented in this jam session. First, we're gonna do like a little list. Mike has the list right there. Clap it up for my brother Mike right there. It's another Michael. He is integral in helping us get the Trauma Center age living at University of Chicago. That Mike right there. So bunch of, revolution continues, baby. So we're gonna end off with this.
This is a public service announcement. From a big organized entertainment teacher, righteous education, everywhere. To fleshing monsters that are too deaf and blind to understand what's going on during these times. See, hip-hop is at a real low. Most don't attempt to keep you in the know.
What?
These garbage and seeds destroying the minds of our seeds with beats infecting you like a
disease.
Glorifying trees and women down on their knees. Their industry puppets crabs in a bucket with the face suit mentality. Living in fantasy. Because urban suburban is the real reality. Explaining everything to make it make difference than non-educational business. Being period and promoting period is the reality. So real is free and free. So it's saying anything. Red, white, and blue, still a stress. But you say lyrics make me sick. He's the plan for the government. P-O-E-R-E-E is taking steps. It's all about the RPG. Loving your people with unity. Educate the man with freedom of death class. Fooling you on time. You positively climb up to the sublime jump. And walk out to the future. Don't pay homage to the ill knowledge, mental bondage from the mainstream college and thoughts. And we are here to educate your ear from that YTV you are. Revolutionary love, brothers and sisters, between God and earth of the universe. Knowledge of self, positive health, education, birth, peace. Proper education allows constant elevation.
Peace, y'all. Y'all put a picture
One more thing, we have an underground CD that we made. It's called Group Who Sat by the Door. And it's full of bands, abstracts of revolutionary music. We have those, we have positive pollution. No, we don't actually have positive pollution, but I put together like a combination of songs that Brother Mike or like the majority of the songs that he wrote. So it's actually 2 discs in one. Our mixtape that we never released, so it's music that nobody got to hear yet, and then also songs from Positive Pollution that have Brother Mike on the production.
We do have we have buttons.
Yes.
We got Brother Mike buttons. We only have a limited amount of them, so yeah. Right. We gotta find those. We're gonna locate those, and then we're just gonna start doing something with it. Y'all come see rhythm. If you get a CD or something, you get a button. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Anybody? Who goes this time? Here we go. Please see Mike if you would like to express yourself on the mic with this lovely band or and let's have fun. Let's celebrate the life of Brother Mike.
Gotta thank what's up? Tim Green Jones in the building. Authentic in the building. Ugly in the building. Sean Owens in the building. Avery Young in the building. Go to the black butterflies in the building. My goodness. Got that one. So we 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 got that one. Finally, you might come around. Give me the keys to let me rock my life and life of my mind. Finally, you might come around. Give me the keys to let me rock my life. Finally, you might come around. Give me the keys to let me rock my life and life of my mind. Finally, you might come around. Give me the keys to let me rock my life. Come around, give me the keys to let me rock my life and life around. Finally, you might come around. Give me the keys to let me rock my life and life around. Finally, you might come around. Hey, blow in, blow out, but I feel what I'm taking out. Blow in, blow out, but I feel what I'm taking out. Say blow in, blow out, when I leave in the bar. In your body, blood. In your body, blood. What you gonna do with this people that you keep like that? Ain't no trick like you gonna live just like somebody else who cares. What you gonna run? Hey, come on, I got back. Blood. What you gonna do? What you gonna want to get you? And it's only one thing on you. That red down there by you. And it's only you from you. Eat the first one I like you. Attitude in the room. Blood. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Huh? Put the number one. What you gonna do? Huh? Put the number one in the knees. You walk to the walk to the God. Put it go walk to the feet. Hey, what you gonna do? Huh? Put the number one in the knees. You. Nigga start me on the guy go shoot. Gotta get out there, everybody need you. I get it, everybody need you. Nigga didn't think I had to shoot it. You need to fight for the way to fight you. I need you. Oh, I need you. What nigga gotta do? You need to know it's not gonna work around here. You need to celebrate for time here. Set up in your body. Rock! We got a back in the back. Trying to find ways to celebrate them. Yeah, never comes making it never gonna see a boy come like that. Black man, no black man. Black man, no black man. Black man, no black man. Black man, black blue, black man. Black women on black top, black red, black blue, black corn on black top, light skin person, skin in the nail shop, bourgeoisie, hitting in the bill hop, he going up, he going out, and where we go up. It's serious, see our people, nobody in come around, give me the pieces, let me work around, like the leg of my. Finally, come around, Out in the street, they out in the streets, they Man, I belong. My short story about Brother Mike is this: he's my brother for real. I thought when I first got on the city of Chicago that I was nice at what I did. I thought it was a nice. I started battle rapping at first, and I thought I was dope. I really thought I was dope. That is until I heard Brother Mike. That is until I heard from Mom. That is until I heard from Ross. That is until I heard real dope MCs and poets and artists. And it made me want to step all of my stuff up. And I think that's what Brother Mike represents. Like, you can't, if you're gonna do this, do it for real. Put your heart into it. And that's what he did. He put his heart into it. So I'm gonna do this. When I do this, when I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what everybody comes in there, all right? All right, I'm gonna show you one more time. There's a lot of artists in here, a lot of different ethnicities. We're gonna be on the beat tonight together, okay? Together. All right, here we go. What? That's fine. Let's move. Okay. All right. Whenever, no matter I ain't better than we can see without I. We just about every I want to live my life. The equal is the square. Hot and loose. High up, hot and loose. Let it loose. Let it loose. I'm never let it loose. A girl's smart, breaking stop. Not her leg, we're supposed to do. We like Hawkins, I ain't no Hawkins, I want you so cold with me. All they know is me. Hawkins, see. I told you, okay. These don't go like okay. Don't you know, they all the same. They don't know right. We do great. We don't know me. Not great. Place, we go from the objects, there's nothing else. We go with the people in and out, with each other, dancing on the wall, I think I'm high. Here we go, I can't take this building, open up the ceiling, make the room look down, and keep the reference, that's what I, brother, like I say, I'm from the camera, flip her in and out, with each other, dancing on the wall, I think I'm high. I can't take this building, open up the ceiling, make the room look down, and keep the reference, that's what I, She's one of all the ones. She's one of all the ones. Yeah, she's one of all the places. All she sees is a little we take each other. Dancing on the wall. I think it's good. Open up the food. Let the room look around and get some girls with us in the right. When we pull the candle, if you're in and out, dancing on the wall. I can take this food. Open up the food. Let the room come down and get some reference. That's the name. Come on, so let's go. The ASPAA, coming on the A50 to the AAP to the Dallas Straight. And what do you do? Wow, this is what it is. Don't just straight to the song and I'm going to go to the AAP. Bro, how do you do this? Big every day on the mic. Big every day with the mic. Light. Take flight. Left, not right. That means that three left feet, that's the right feet. S-I-A-T-H-T. Correct, down the street. Straight up, y'all. We got the other members from 7 levels in the cold street. Let me get a few of y'all. Straight up, y'all. We can heal the world. We got 2 of y'all go real. There's the little black girl. Talk around for the good back on. Got that out of the true. Straight up, y'all. Don't go on ladies every day. But you got to teach you right. You can't tell what they do. Straight up, y'all. I'm saying what the rap is. Straight up, y'all is. Straight up, y'all is. Straight up, champion is. Strong, straight up, champion is. Rather than NIC, everywhere you go, you start the street. Come to the city or the city. I ain't seen that happen that ain't too cheap. You let me all in there. Y'all, time to open up the top door, okay? Look at all things. You're right there, don't want to be so good. How you test me in? Just want to see if you want to get you a little. How you do it? And you great. Come on here, and you're ready to play. Get up the house, set it up to my pocket, and give it out of us to all three.
This is a song about freedom. This is a song about freedom. This is a song about freedom. This song about freedom. I got a song A song about freedom. Wanna hear my song? Check. Song about freedom. I got a song. Check. Yo, hey, what it mean to be free? Hey, what it mean to be free? I teach our baby how to read. I teach our baby how to read. How we gon' fight who we need. How we gon' fight who we need. When we need them to eat. When we need them to eat. Don't fight that can't be you. Or the same can't be you. So the praise out in the street. The same man will beat you. The same man will beat you. Need you pork, chicken, white. So when it's time to fight in war, we be doing the spring. The same thing. Same thing, 13. They took our armies away. And then they said 13. We don't learn in the street. We don't protect all our time. We do a best for a day. We want to go to the Twitter. They should take me. They should take me. Don't do no more shit to me. Don't do no more shit to me. If they should take me out. If they should take me out. Don't hold no protest for me. Don't hold no protest for me. I'm taking it out for a time. I'm taking it for you. If they should take me out. You get your pump, you shoot. You get your pump, you shoot. You get your pump, you shoot. If they don't take me out. You get your pump. Back and forth for justice. For a brother on the grave. Like that same one sister. Getting back anything safe. We'll still gonna be better. And then we all on the same page. Like the same people ain't not the we in the case. It ain't not moving away. It ain't not moving away. They put you in the name. The one that's gonna take. Don't let me hear them all. Don't let me hear them cry. Don't let me hear them peacefully. When I really want to start a fight, they gon' catch me. They gon' catch me. Don't do no more. Don't do no more. If they should take me out. If they should take me out. No more protest me. No more protest me. I see it for that. I see it for that. If they should take me out. You need some pump you shoot. You need some pump you shoot. You need some pump you shoot. If they should take me out. You need
Say, something about freedom. Say, something about freedom. Say, something about freedom. Something about freedom. Something about freedom. Now this super lady right here is fire. Some people are fools, others prefer to die. Only the strong will survive. So I read a right between the lines of the pages in my mind now. Look inside the vacant pride. I'm saying
I want you to do some presence with this. And scenery. And to remember the things together. Hold on. Talking about being a survivor. Alright? Talking about being a survivor. I just want to point out, and I'm just the one to do it. There were two crowds here. A bunch of dignitaries and people who work downtown that you never see. And then we got the community. If you hear me say okay, there were two worlds that we must affect. see that? There are two words that we must affect, and our brother showed us how to do it. Dance for pictures. This is the brother Mike we know and love. This is the one that the world was able to see and feel. When you put that one and that one together, that makes it 11. That's crazy. That means that we are brothers. Get up, Scenario.
You can take the restrictions off the lava. I've been for you because I've been through it. All these struggle, you can say I'm here to it. My brain was against us. Diabetes couldn't be us. My mother got an 18-hour coma, and she's still one of the coldest demons. Yeah, I come from a long line, a wide line, and many things. Who is it making the way through the amazing, so I'm like a case of laser. And a pair of slacks will like the bitch that bites out, bites back. If you put stuff, you don't have to put your boots up and fight back. You can call me karate chiropractor. Never let anyone lack the effect of. Reality is determined by the soul one has. Don't change my state of mind, what an interest in like a rag. I'm not a product of my past. More like a prediction in my future. I use my setbacks as a future. I already know that having my heart in pieces only produce some of my heart in pieces. I found peace in my pain. Only use it for personal gain. I made the physical work to say that patience has perfect work. I created a dream job for me. I had a dream God in me that intimate. He told me he is quit. Lord, easy. And the fight's not finished. God told me in order for me to be a star, I had to be sufficient to prepare. The soul to the war. But I found tenacity in my scriptures. And yet I got the battle wounds. I got the battle wounds that hurt like battle wounds the way pictures, but I didn't quit. Like real things did. Oh, saying everything where you would have paid it. Take my pictures, I paid it. You did it, I see it. Inside the physical, you can guarantee I feel like everything is in my heart. I recognize this flesh of blood. My flesh is always trying to test, but my spirit is a soul all the time. Work over Wednesday's waiting low. My faith is bold. My faith is bold. My faith is bold. There's nothing I can't handle. My life is a all I can't handle. I keep down to go stay down. My car breaks down to go way down. I keep a bell car on deck. I keep a bell car on deck. Some of y'all know my life. But I keep a bell car on deck. No cash, no sweat. Never see the day my needs not being met. I'll bet you at home. A poet problem. A mastery and acting the way I handle hard times. A poet I won't know what they have inside. Turn it down. You gotta get out of pocket. You can either lie down and let life whoop your ass. You can get swollen and roll at the top of the glass. I know your trouble is coming. I haven't even known you forward every wall is sore. And you're tired. I can make a commercial web on your radio. The lady your pills for volunteers. Your stress related steroids. It feels like your pain. Game to a lot of your body. You probably praying for a breakthrough right now with my feet. You probably praying for a breakthrough right now with my feet. You probably praying for a breakthrough right now with my feet. God, you get some peace from this thing I wrote for me. Let there come be a hope for me. So how you think?
Okay.
Right now, you start to see the failure and disappointments underneath your feet. Right now, you start to see the failure and disappointments underneath your feet. And even if you woke up, you still woke up. That says something about you. Only let this world unfold and now you figure out about you. You too are the bottom. You got God's DNA all over you. So even though it's like break you, never let it be you. You're blessed for what you've been through. Learn how to let your burdens feel you. In this life, keep telling yourself, the only thing that can make God, it's time to start acting like it.
Get it. Get it.
There's the first place to get in my voice. In that space. It hurts my soul. This for me, in the room, with all of the ministry, let me know that I was survived.
Y'all give it up our beautiful sister. Give it up to your love. Alright, you gotta be more gangster. You gotta be more gangster. It's gotta be more gangster. Cherry Fred. You feel like freestyling, man? You feel like going up, get in. You feel like, you feel like it. Last time we did Brother Mike's memorial at the Clio on the same day. It's an Honorable Chairman, Senior. Okay. Now, I got a little NC in the building. Raise your hand if you see over here. All right. He goes by the name of Low Key, Low Key, Low Key. Everybody say it, really say Low Key, Low Key, Low Key. This is the future right here, say Low Key, Low Key, Low Key. Someone really know me, Low Key. Low key, low key. Everybody know me. Low key, low key, low key. Yes, automatic low key, low key, low key. Mark White is in Paris. Low key, low key, low key. Keep on the right, low key, low key. Y'all made it right for brother White.
I just do this. This is all I'm about to do. I'm going to do this. See about it. See attention. But the one why I'll be so happy for me. I'm going to make my dream. I'm too down to see. I didn't go to sleep like that. Everybody.
We can just be great. We should. All of that people want to work. Like personally, but fire. Everybody know that I think just like a can make it higher. But you say fire, higher. Everybody higher than the ceiling. Everybody know we gonna keep drinking the living. And yes, tell me you're living. Whatever you were living. Give me a living, whichever way that you want. And there's no word why you don't get a camera. Whatever I don't feel and I can say, just like the way you want to tell me. Whatever I care, I can say, go to you.
Now, there's something special about Seven that we used to talk to about my brethren. Talk about what it would be when Brother Mike enters in the gates of first heaven.
Okay, so we need to set everybody knows that he will be just like a reverend and nothing words. He'll be like 24/7 in the day. Yes, he will be there every day. You know when you went into the gate, you know when you get there, you're outside. It's time to make a change. Like it's time to make a change down the road. Just let it go, on the floor. Never like change, you know this, you know. Now we just go to the down my man. I'm here, I'm
Okay. Let's end this legacy. With the energy that we have up in here, we're about to close this section of it. I want to acknowledge somebody that's in the house. Who here, raise your hand, don't lie at all, were a part of, you came in and actually saw the first lyricist loft, the actual loft on Lake Street, where we served spaghetti. You understand? It was movie there as well. Raise your hand. We had a lot party upstairs. Almost shut the building down. Yes. Okay. So who here knows who this guy is? Right? This guy is not only a superstar vocalist. This guy does not only have his own band and they are on Conan O'Brien, right? He is the artist that painted the entire space at Lyricist Love. He painted the walls, he went outside and painted cars, he painted on TVs, he painted on everything. His name is Chadwick, and he made this right here in Brother Mike's energy. Yes. Oh, man, that's what's up. Okay, so there's a couple more people on the list, right? I got Will still in the building, right? I got Ahab, I got, come on, I think, K-O-K-N, come on. How do you say that? Come on. I did go to college, but how do you say that? K-O-K-N, is that a word? Okay, I almost had a stroke, just think about it. All right, Monsieur. Don't hit Monsieur. Huh? No? Great. Okay. So let's bring up this male vocalist man who rock at you media. Y'all don't care. No, you don't care, you don't care. I know you don't care. Come on up, man. Anybody that does care, got your hand. If you can. Yes. Oh, okay. Beautiful. Good, y'all. Good, y'all. How y'all doing? All right. So, I'm gonna tell you a real quick story before I get into my, it's not gonna be long. So, my first year is long. I walked in. Hold on. Hey, this kind of sound like this is long. You know what I'm saying, right? If you can hear me clap once, if you can hear me clap twice, if you can hear me clap 3 times, okay, if somebody talking, lick the side of their face. Okay, don't do that, that's next. Don't do that. That's next. All right. So, hold on. We got like 15 more minutes. And I see everybody's, you know what I'm saying, walking around and moving. And this is for my brother. And I'm so blessed. Thank you. Right. So, anybody else that's loving and strong and bold enough to walk around to other people who are talking during this moment, can you do so and ask them to be quiet? Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Look at Mama Pants. That's right.
You gotta go lick their face. Go lick their face, come on. That's what he said.
Hey, face to face.
So, my first witness is lost. I walked in, and the first thing Brother Mike said to me was power to the people. And I was like, yo, it's tracking. So, I'm looking around the witness loft and I'm seeing people like, talent. I'm seeing people like Marcus Prince. I'm seeing people exchange ideas like Terry, Chance the Rapper. I'm sitting around, I'm like, yo, I'm looking at all these people and I'm like, man, I can't match any of these people. I don't have a particular talent. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling kind of down. So I'm talking to Brother Mike and I'm exchanging my ideas and he's like, yo, you really, really have a voice. You just have to understand how to harness it. So fast forward 5 years and I'm sitting in my career in Montgomery because I go to Alabama State University.
Y'all clap it up for successful youth, man. We ain't gonna play if they get shot, but we gonna clap if they're in college. That's crazy.
So I'm sitting there chilling and I'm listening to my man Chance the Rapper do the wonderful everyday remix for Arthur. And at the end of the song, it says, and if I go down, I'll go down swinging with my eyes still shining and my heart still singing. And I listened to that song over and over again, and it finally popped in my head, like, I understand what I have to do. So as of last summer, I decided to pursue a PhD in clinical psychology or social psychology. So I could teach young black men how to love themselves, so that they don't have to go around worried about if somebody loves them. So that's my ultimate goal.
Yes. Get out of that. Go ahead.
Brother Mike, this is for you. I feel like this song really, it's fitting. So here it is.
Oh, pirates, yes, they are so glad to be merchant ships. Many times they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward this generation triumphantly. So won't you help us sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, emancipate yourself into slavery, not myself.
Come on, man.
Have no fear for the time, because nothing can stop the time. How long
take the prophets way in the sun.
Yeah.
Some say it's just a possibility. We got to forgive. Won't you help sing?
Say.
These songs of
what you got? What you got?
'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. All right. You just almost slapped my arm on something. It's cool. Love. All right. Yes. So I have a couple of vocalists that I want to bring up to close the night. I don't know where Ahab went. Ahab around here. Ahab at? I don't see him. Okay. We're going to close the night with these two vocalists. Yeah, is that okay? You just came in, brother. You just took off your coat. I didn't even lock eyes with you. And I was like, you didn't know. That's my other brother right there. Y'all got that for y'all. Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's what y'all got. Do you know what this is? This is my brother from Ghana. He is all the way from Ghana. Not only that, he's a vocalist and a rhymer, and a father and a husband and a community man and a community leader. And he got spirits on him, y'all. He got spirits on him. And Brother Mike's homegoing, he was singing and made Brother Mike's father's blood pressure go up. And we thought the worst right there. But that's not the only time I've seen that from him. Y'all remember MySpace?
Yeah.
I stumbled over a MySpace message that y'all got from a person who liked his music in San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco or something like that. I'm leaving my man. He does not make me feel the way your music makes me feel.
Damn.
No, that's now. Yeah, please, sir. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Right now. That happened now. I asked y'all to clap on the first time you did. Don't clap now. I can destroy you in 5 minutes time. No. Check. Oh, yeah. Good evening. How y'all doing? So we got one more after him, y'all go. That was an incredible introduction, and I'm a real humble dude, man, so I probably blushed a little bit. I don't like to hear all that. That's just not my life, you know? Yeah, and then the sky, you jump the sides. That's tough. This is just, I don't like to hear it. It's not even about that guy.
Oh, where are you?
Y'all feel that the spirit of my brother is in the space tonight? Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. Oh, what are you doing now? Oh, what are you doing now? Keep it moving for my brother. Keep it moving for my brother. Keep it moving for my brother. Keep it moving. Yes. All right. Help me introduce this last person. Y'all clap it up for brother. Yeah. Come on. You put that out. Okay, wait up. All right, this last vocalist that's coming to the microphone. Come on. I had the privilege of hosting a like 8 event showcase at Navy Pier. It was called the Neo Soul Explosion. The Neo Soul Explosion. And they had Jaguar Wright, they had Bilal, they had Hassan Patterson, they had a bunch of people. This particular night, a Mel LaRue came.